Alright folks, no time for pleasantries. We've got a lot to go over in this video. I'm going to be swatching and comparing all of my red shimmer eyeshadows. This was requested by my friend Juliet, aka Mostly Matte, on Instagram, and I'm telling y'all, all it takes is one request, and if I have the time, I'll do it. I was kind of overwhelmed and unsure of how to group everything, so because I'm me, I'm going to end up swatching them in multiple different groupings. I think I'm just going to do one pass over where I group them in a way that made sense to me, and then I'm going to go group them by brand, so that if there was a specific comparison you wanted to see and I didn't do it in the first pass through, maybe I'll do it in the second one. Let's go ahead and get into it. I just have a little sampling of all the shadows I'm going to be swatching for you today. Okay, so I can't fit everything in one frame, but the first category I'm going to swatch is red metallics or shimmers or satins that do not have any shift. And some of these have hollow flecks in them, but overall they're not duochromes, they're not multichromes. So I figured I will group all these together. I'll probably end up including Leon, which is this shadow here, in multiple groups because I know that's like a very highly requested comparison. By the way, I am planning to do a dedicated video on Leon. I'm actually doing a wear test today. Let me clear out some space so you can focus on my arm. I'll have everything labeled toward the end where all the swatches are together. Let's start with Pat McGrath Mothership 5. I'm gonna have to look up the shade name. The red Blitz Astral shade in here. Let me turn down my light a little bit. This is a true ruby red. It's a baked shade, so it has a unique texture and finish. It's shiny and reflective, but it does feel a little bit dry, like you would expect from a baked shade. So here we go, very opaque in the first pass. Next I'm going to do this red metallic from the Shellwe Makeup Circus palette. Some of these palettes were sent to me in PR, and I will indicate it somehow. I'll either put an asterisk next to the swatch or I'll indicate it in the description. Either way, it will be clear and conspicuous which ones were sent to me in PR. So we're going to do this red shade from the Shellwe Makeup Circus palette called Clown. This is pretty similar in tone. It's a little cooler than the Pat McGrath shade. It's a smaller particle size, not quite as dry. Here they are. You can see the tonal differences. This one reads more vibrant. Okay, next we're gonna get these Natasha Denona shades out of the way. I have a few palettes pulled, so let's do these two in the Sunrise palette. So Poppy and Phlox. Poppy is more of a cool tone red. Phlox is more of a true red, so I'll do Phlox first. In terms of tone, it's somewhere in between these top two shades. And then Poppy is more of a cool tone red, Merlot tone. These two are very similar in texture. I don't think they needed to be in the same palette, but they're nice. I like these types of shades for layering. Then we have Claret from the Metropolis palette. Pretty similar to these two other shades. It's just a ruby red metallic. A little bit more emollient and metallic, but I feel like it's pretty spot on, almost identical to Phlox from the Sunrise palette. And then the last Natasha Denona shade is Starlit from the, I don't know, maybe this is an orange or a pink, but I'm like, where do you draw the line for a red? You know what I mean? So I'm gonna include this with the reds. Okay, I really should have done these swatches closer together because we have 5 more shades to swatch. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me move these out of the frame. Okay, now let's move on to these single shadows. So let's swatch the one, the only Leon from Odin's Eye. In case you missed it, I picked this up for science. I just had to take one for the team and get it to compare to other shades because I know, like me, a lot of you are so curious how like every single red compares to Leon. So here it is. Let's swatch it. It's a black-based red, and it really is just so unique. I'm going to do one more pass because it didn't cover enough surface area. It's just a true primary red, so vibrant, and it has a sparkly finish. So there's Leon. I have thoughts on this, which you'll hear in my video. Cerise Waves from Terra Moons. This was sent to me in PR. This is much more of a cool tone red. I hope this one doesn't stain. And it has these little like blue flecks of sparkle in it. This one's almost in the pink territory. And I am wiping off my finger in between each swatcher. Maybe a little bit of staining on my finger, but there's no eyeshadow left. This is Ruby from Dualism Beauty. This is like a red satin eyeshadow with hollow in it. So let's swatch it. And this I know is different than these more standard metallic and shimmer shades, but since it doesn't have any shift, I'm including it in this group. So here we go. Next, we're going to do Ruby Hollow from BellaBeauteBar. Very similar concept to Ruby from Dualism Beauty. Both of these were sent to me in PR. I forget if I already said that. This one has more of a reflective metallic or foiled red base, but again, very similar concept. You can really see that red base coming in through more. The hollow particles are larger and more dispersed. Okay, and then the last shade here, Cherry Praline from Glam Shop. This, depending on who you ask, may be considered a brown. I think of it as a red, like a muted burgundy, but I figured I would include this as well. This is one of their velvet shadows, I think. No, this is an Ultra Pearl. I really like this one, especially if we're just like buffing all over the lid and then using a topper shade on. Beautiful. Okay, so here is this first group. Let me get a better angle so I can pop up the labels on the screen. So this next group, we have some cooler tone, almost magenta leaning reds. And like I said, you will likely see a good amount of overlap between groups. Let's start with the singles. So first we have Made on Mars from Terra. This was gifted to me from the brand. This has a sheer gray base and it's like a satin finish. And it has this like hot red reflect from straight on. But then from, I don't know if it's going to even show on camera. Hold on. You can kind of see. This is a shade that a lot of people thought was ugly. I personally like it. Next, we have Diatreme from my collaboration with Shine by SD Cosmetics. This is another gray-based red. It has a smaller particle size and it shifts to orange, gold, green. This one, I wanted to create a red for people who are intimidated by red. So this is like a beautiful everyday type of red shade. Like I said, it has that sheer base. Sheer gray base, which makes it more wearable, but you still get that glow from within. I wanted it to be a true red, but in the most recent batch, I noticed it's a tiny bit cooler tone, and I mentioned this before. With handmade single shadows, sometimes there are slight discrepancies between each batch. Here is Diatreme. Next, we have Kiln from Clionadh. This was sent to me in PR. Kiln Light, sorry. And this is a deep gray base multi-chrome, and it shifts from red, orange, gold, green. Similar concept, deeper base, so you can see really the difference that base has on that type of shade. Has a sparkly dimensional finish but a smaller particle size. Okay, moving on, we have Crimson Eclipse. I believe this is discontinued from Terra Moons, but this is a dupe to like Torch from Clionadh, Cygnus from Devinah if you have those shades, magenta, leaning red, and it shifts to orange gold. Has a sparkly finish. I'm actually going to redo these swatches real quick because I realized they are way too close, way too far apart for everything I'm intending to fit on my arm, so give me a sec. Next we have Resting Witch Phase from BellaBeauteBar. I don't know if this one's still available, but this is a black base multi-chrome. It's insanely metallic and shifty and almost like a magenta-ish red from straight on, and then it shifts red, orange, gold, green. Like I said, super shifty, like probably the shiftiest shade out of all of these. Goes all across the color wheel. Really beautiful. This one was sent to me in PR too. Next we have Mosaic from Clionadh Cosmetics. This is one of their hybrid multi-chromes. Semi-sheer, I think gray base. And it shifts to orange, gold, green. Then we have Forge Light from Clionadh from their Jeweled Lights. This was sent to me in PR. Same exact shifts as Mosaic, but it has a deep gray base, different finish, more of a dimensional sparkly finish, and you can see it does appear a little bit more warm tone from straight on, but I would say these are quite similar. I don't think you need both. Next, we have Mirage from Terra Moons. I believe this was just discontinued, but this is a really common type of multi-chrome, black base multi-chrome. Like pretty much every brand that sells multi-chromes will have their own version of this, like Forge from Clionadh. I can't think of more off the top of my head, but a lot of brands have their own version of this. And again, this has a black base, and it shifts from red, orange, gold, green. A bit warmer from straight on than the shades above, but I still think of it as a cooler tone red. This is Inferno from Shine by SD. This is part of their Jeweled Dreams or Jeweled something collection. And this was sent to me in PR. I think this is the same type of multi-chrome pigment we've established. Another insanely shifty shade. And this one is warmer reading. It has a black base, but it's a little bit easier to use than some of the traditional black base multi-chromes. I think maybe it's more of a sheer black base. But anyway, as you can see, it's just insanely reflective. I feel like it has the most similar finish to this one, Resting Witch Face from BellaBeauteBar. Okay, next, Space Drifter from Terra Moons. This, I think, was also discontinued. This is a really unique It's a cool tone, muted red, and it shifts mostly to green. It's giving like Christmas vibes. It has kind of a satin finish. You'll probably not be able to see the shift until I break out my little light. Okay, next, this is Strength from BellaBeauteBar and Brittany Huffman and Ellie Star Makeup. This was sent to me in PR. This is a freaking beautiful shade. So foiled, so metallic, a bit flaky, and it has a shift to like an orange mostly. Here's that. Just so unique. Look how beautiful that is. And then Ruby Satellite from Terra. This was sent to me in PR. This one came to me really squishy. I had to like take it out and repress it. So just FYI if you plan to buy this. I don't know what the ones that are available for sale are like, but the one I received in PR was super squishy. I had to like take the oil out. So here this is. Has a deep, looks almost like purple or like a blackened red base. And it shifts to orange and gold. And then, let me wipe off my hand. Let's do these two from the BellaBeauteBar Sun and the Sea palette. So first we have, this palette was sent to me in PR. First we have Sunset, which is a cool tone red that shifts to orange and gold. It's a bit on the thicker side, and it has a metallic finish. See mostly a gold shift. And then Heatwave, this is a shade that I've like reached into this palette multiple times to use. I just love it. Has a sheer deep gray base, and then it shifts from red, orange, gold, green. It's like the same type of multi-chrome as a bunch you'll see above, but I feel like just the kind of like sheer base and the way it distributes is so beautiful and wearable. I've worn this for work and I really liked it. I felt like it was spicy, but still everyday friendly. Okay, let me zoom out so we can see all the swatches together and I can pop up labels. Okay, so this next group I'm calling the true reds. These I feel like are the most neutral reds. And I think Juliet, if I recall correctly, was specifically curious about these shades from the Shellwe makeup palettes. I think specifically this one from the Liana palette, In Flames, which is one of the most requested comparisons I get asked for. This is surprisingly unique, but we're going to see what's closest out of my singles and any overlap in other palettes. Let's go ahead and start. Let's start with the two Shellwe palettes. These palettes were sent to me in PR. So first we'll do Trigger. This is from the Dream Escape or Octopus palette. This is a red, orange, gold shifting multi-chrome. Has a metallic finish. Very opaque and pigmented. Next, we're going to do In Flames from the Liana palette, which is one of the most beautiful red multichromes to ever exist in my collection. So foiled and reflective, and it's red, orange, gold, green shifting, but it's more of a true neutral red from Straight On compared to the shades I just showed you. Here are these two. You can see they are similar. The main difference is in the finish. Okay, next, Fierce from the Danessa Myricks Lightwork 5 palette. I think this is really similar to the Shellwe shades. Another unique red multichrome. This is like I think this is a Pressed Flakes formula. If I recall correctly, I'm probably wrong, but a little bit cooler tone, but I would say it's still a true red. And it shifts orange, gold, green, and it has a flaky finish, but they do kind of smooth out to this thick, opaque, metallic shine. We're going to do these BellaBeauteBar shades. So I have two palettes, both received in PR. First we'll do the recently de-influenced palette. These are some of my favorite reds. They're so shiny, so vibrant. So we have Fake Famous. This one I actually probably could have included with the cooler tone reds. Whoops. We'll just swatch it here. This one is really unique. It's a vibrant, I guess, cooler tone red, and it shifts to orange. And then we have Depleted from the recently de-influenced palette. Very similar, almost identical to the top three shades. This one is a little bit thinner. Then we have Star Ruby. I wish I did these in reverse order. That's gonna drive me crazy, but I'm already spending so much time on this video, I cannot. Okay, so Star Ruby from the Bejeweled palette. Really similar to Fake Famous. Maybe just a hair warmer tone. I don't see really any shift in it. I don't know how I'm going to fit all these singles on my arm. Okay, next we have Ring of Fire from the Clionadh Deep Sea Treasures palette. This was sent to me in PR, and this is a flaky chunky red that shifts to orange and gold. Has a sheer base. This one's beautiful. So vibrant and sparkly and textured. I might have to go onto my second arm for swatches. Okay, I redid the swatches closer together. It was going to drive me crazy, and I switched these two sheets from the Recently De-Influenced palette. So you'll see in the labels, this is Fake Famous and this is Depleted. Okay, now let's try to fit all 9 of these singles in this limited space on my arm. We have Olympus Mons from Terra Moons. This is a very flaky, kind of muted red. It's a deep base, ultra sparkly, flaky finish. And it shifts from orange to gold, maybe a little bit of green from a harsh angle. Again, pretty similar to these top shades. This one's more muted though. It's more of a like wearable type of red. Next we have Sandblast Light, which I always thought of as an orange, but I think this is technically a red, at least according to their website, I think. So anyway, this was sent to me in PR. This is part of their Jeweled Lights. Has a deep sheer gray base, and it shifts from a, I guess, I don't know, is this an orange or red? I guess a red to orange to gold. Look, this is actually really similar to these top 2 shades. Let me do another layer. Burning Flames from Shine by SD. This is one of their classic multichrome or foiled multichromes. I forget. You'll find it if you search it on the website. But this is a traditional black-based multichrome. I'm probably going to declutter this after I do my Shine by SD guide video. I'm never going to use this realistically. I'm always going to reach for Sandblast Light over this. And I bought that one myself. Okay, this is Firebell from the Shine by SD Eternal Collection. This was a duochrome sent to me in PR. And it's more of a muted true red that shifts to, I guess, gold. We have 2 very similar Terra Moons shades. We have Aurora Australis and Martian Dust. These to me look so similar, but I know some people disagree. So this is a little cooler tone, this is a little bit warmer tone. Okay, next we have Darkened Flame from Shine by SD. Another one I thought might be similar to Leon, but very different. You'll see when I swatch them together. This has a black base, a ton of red to gold shifting sparkles. It's gorgeous, but not the same as Leon. Okay, we're going to do Leon again, because I know some of y'all want to see. So this is Odin's Eye Leon. Had to do a couple passes of that to get it to full opacity. And then the last one we have here is Jupiter's Embrace from Terra Moons, sent to me in PR. All of these except for Leon and Burning Flames were sent to me in PR. Okay, so this is Jupiter's Embrace from Terra Moons. Has a cool tone red base, and it shifts to red, gold, green. Okay, let me get a better angle so you can see all these together. I fit all of these on by the skin of my teeth. Oh my gosh, okay. These are what I'm considering warmer tone reds. I'm sure people will disagree, but y'all, I'm just doing my best. There are so many eyeshadows here to sort through, so I don't need to know if you disagree with me. I already filmed the video. We're gonna start with a special shade from Shine by SD. This one's called Electrifying, and this is a warm muted red with just a ton of different colored flecks of sparkle. Silver, blue, gold, so many. You know I love those types of shades, and it shifts to gold and green. Beautiful, beautiful. Then we have Jovian Storm from Terra Moons. This is pretty similar, but in my opinion, not as special as Electrifying. It doesn't have that extra dimension from all the different colored sparkles. Also, this reads warmer in my opinion, but as you can see, they're quite similar. They both have a similar finish. This one's just more dimensional. Then we have Eris from Terra Moons, which I have called a spiky flaky shade because I feel like the flakes are shard-like and a little bit sharp. Here's this. I don't love this one, but I think I'm in the minority because a lot of people seem to really like this one. It has a sheer base, and like I said, it has these just shards of pigment, And they're like a warm orangey red to gold to green. Then we have, so this is Arcturus, has a red base and shifts orange, gold, green, teal. Really unique and really shifty. Then we have Venus in Chains, which is quite similar to Arcturus, but it's more muted and it shifts, has the same shift, just a deeper base and overall deeper, cooler tone shade. So you see it still goes orange, gold, green, teal, and I feel like they even go to a little bit of blue and purple from a harsh angle. And yeah, look at the stain. This left on my finger. These are going to stain, by the way. Okay, and then this one, I don't know if this is a red, but I categorize this with these two shades. This is another Terra Moon shade. Alien Code. By the way, all of these except for Electrifying have been sent to me in PR. And this one I feel like is the same concept. It's just a little bit deeper and grungier. So it's got those same shifts. We'll see them swatched together. I don't think I've ever swatched all three of them together. It's actually more different than I realized. But anyway, here these are. This one definitely spends more time in the green area. Like, is this even a red? I don't know. Well, here it is anyway. And then the last one for this category is Bougie from the Ensley Rain Harvest Moon palette. This is a holochrome. And it's a warm red to orange to gold and just has a bunch of different flecks of sparkle throughout it. So let me get a better view so you can see all these swatched together. Okay, as you can see, I did have staining from those shades. This is what I'm going to call the IDK. Technically, they're a red. So they don't really necessarily look like a red in the pan, but they were either categorized as a red on the website or like they're technically a red. So I'm just going to swatch them. First, we have Bloodline from Clionadh. This has a muted burgundy red base and has that like rainbow type of shit. Oh my god, it is so beautiful. Forgot how beautiful this eyeshadow is. I kind of forget about it because it's older in my collection, but would you look at that? So anyway, this is one of their vibrant multi-chromes, which is interesting because I don't think of this as a vibrant shade. I think of this as more of a muted, wearable, quote-unquote type of shade. I cannot stop looking at how pretty this is, but anyway, this has a, like I said, a cool tone red base, and it shifts from orange, gold, green, teal. It's like that rainbow shifting type of shade. Then we have her sister. This is Terrestrial from Terra Moons. And this I would think of as more of a pink base, but since they're so similar, I'm just including this to compare. And yeah, you can see they're so similar. This one is just overall cooler tone. This one's a little bit more reflective. Okay, next we have Grisaille from Clionadh. Now, if you have a deeper skin tone than me, this is probably going to show up as a pink on you. This is based on feedback I've heard from multiple people at this point. But it is categorized as a red on their website, and it has a terracotta base with teal blue purple shifting sparkles. Another one of my favorites, if you watch my videos, you've heard me talk about this plenty of times before. Love Grisaille. And the last one we're going to swatch again is this one from Glam Shop, Cherry Praline, just because it falls into that category of like IDK. Technically, I guess it's a red. Okay, here are these four. Okay, actually, I decided that's going to be the last category because I'm going to save the next group for my video on Odin's Eye Leon, which I will try to get out ASAP. So now let's get into brands that I have a bunch of shades from. I'm going to swatch them all together so it can be helpful to refer to. So I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope it was helpful, Juliet. I hope it was helpful. I hope I delivered on your request. If it was helpful for anyone else, that's fantastic news. Let me know if you want to see any other color groups. This was kind of fun to just like look at my collection through this lens. Also, like I said, I just did an inventory of my single shadow collection, and I think it would be fun if you guys guessed in the comments how many single shadows I have, because I'm curious how many you think I have. But I'm going to be sharing that on my second Instagram account, which I just recently made, called Seeking Pans, and that's going to have more data focused, project pan, inventory, usage, that type of content. So if you're interested, give me a follow over there. I'm starting a series where I'm posting my inventory. I've already got a couple posts up. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please even give it a thumbs up if you didn't like it, because this is going to take me so freaking long to add the labels to. Just give it a thumbs up. Thanks. All right. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.